everybody. Welcome to the Gaby U Show. I am your host, Gaby U, and today I have an amazing guest, Dr. Funke Brown. And so before we go into our discussion, I would like to tell you some things about her. Dr. Funke Brown is an academic physician, currently an assistant professor of clinical pediatrics. She's also board certified in pediatric pulmonary medicine and pediatric sleep disorders. As a double board certified pediatric respiratory sleep medicine physician, Dr. Brown helps her patients breathe better and sleep better. She is the founder of Resftul Sleep MD, where she helps parents and their children prioritize sleep as a critical aspect of their wellness. She's also serving as the Associate Program Director for Pediatric Pulmonary Fellowship and the Pediatric Site Director for Sleep Medicine Fellowship. In this role, she has worked to build out the training curriculum for pediatric trainees in pulmonary medicine. In addition to curriculum development, she also has experience in the training program evaluation. Dr. Brown is also a member of the American Thoracic Society, ATS, and the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, AASM, where she is involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion work. She is also passionate about mentoring the next generation of physician scholars and is particularly invested in the training and development of minority scholars. When she's not teaching and seeing patients, Dr. Brown spends time writing. She believes in the power of stories to inspire people to live their most brilliant lives now, and as such, continue to spend time mastering the art and the crafts of storytelling. And that is Dr. Brown for you. Welcome, Dr. Brown, to the Gaby U Show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that warm introduction.
Yes, love it. So yeah, we are going to get started with my lovely icebreaker questions, I call them. Anybody could call it something else, but Gaby calls them icebreaker questions.
I love it.
Yeah. So the first one I want to ask you is, what is your favorite food?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I'm a foodie, but I would say spicy.
you're my club. You're my foodie girl. Okay, now.
I would say spicy. Like Thai food is definitely way up there. Any type of Thai food.
Yes.
I really love. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's just variety of Thai food.
So Thai food, spicy.
Yes, spicy and a little bit of sweet. Yes, that's where I am.
Mm-hmm. I love spicy food too. I have all the spices in my kitchen. I'm just putting all of them. What flavor we're gonna come in?
I love it.
I love Thai food too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes. So okay. So what the next thing I want to ask you is, what is your favorite quote?
I would say one of my favorite quotes is by, I believe it was Maya Angelou, where she talks about the fact that people will not remember what you said or do, but they will remember how you made them feel. And I think that's always been a mantra for me, just in terms of my interacting with people, leaving them better. And so that definitely inspires me.
Yes, I love Maya Angelou's quote. It's one of the quotes I use to in the show as well, and everywhere I go, like my mantra. And she has a lot of lovely quotes, and that one too I love that one too. And I think it's something that I feel like I say that a lot in a lot of things I talk, in the way I do things, and even when I talk to my kids too, I tell them this is try to put that in their mind, that they need to know. When you come to a room, how do people view you? Do they see darkness? Do they see light?
Yeah.
What do you bring when you walk in a room? What will people remember you for? I think that quote just kind of embodies that. It's not, if you like, you should have all the education, all the money, but how are you treating people?
Absolutely. That is so true.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. So now I want you to share with me, Dr. Brown, what would you feel that has shaped you to be this woman you are today? I want you to share, your victories, your struggles. Is it from health? Is it from career, childhood? Anything that, can let us know how, what has shaped you to be this woman you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, growing up, I was quite a sickly child. I was in and out of the doctors. And now our family physician was actually one of my parents' family friends, or one of our family friends. And so I remember then, when I would go in, really lethargic, sick again, and, him just talking with my parents, calming their fears and anxieties. And that really inspired me, actually. That was part of the reason why I decided to pursue a career in medicine, just being a healer and taking the family, not just because of their disease and not labeling them by their disease, but really stepping back and looking at the family as a whole. And so those interactions were very inspiring for me. And then, other things that have really kept me going, because, the path to being a doctor, and then I'm triple boarded, as it were. So,
okay.
Of course, there are bumps on the way. There's lots of challenges, but I would say my faith has definitely been foundational to where I am today. And also my family, I have a very, very supportive husband, my siblings, my children. They've all been really foundational to helping me, because there are times when I felt like, calling it quits and just really looking back and saying, okay, I'm doing this to leave a legacy for my children. I'm doing this because people do believe in me. And so that's kept me going as well. So those things, and of course, community, our friends, my neighbors, all that. So those have been all foundational to me being who I am today in this journey.
Yes. Wow. And that, that's it helps a lot, all having all this combination, because a profession like you went into is not easy. And a lot of people, they want to go into it, and not having that support, they found that they can end up going into a lot of, emotional problems, depression, anxiety, when you don't have that support, because it's not easy at all.
No.
Yeah. And I could relate to yours very well, because the same thing with me, going into, being a nurse practitioner, from being a nurse to become a nurse practitioner, is that great support I had from my husband, my parents, they helped me either way, financially, mentally, all that, having kids and going to school. It's right. Not easy. And unfortunately, not everybody has that support. And, if maybe you are listening to this, like, okay, well, I didn't have that support. Probably I could have done better, and sometimes if you don't have that support around, it's sometimes looking for that community, you getting a coach, getting a mentor. There's always one for each things in your life, there is out there that they can help you if you are really willing that you want to move on to the next level. It's very, very important. And I know my listeners, they probably hear me say this a lot in pretty much a lot of more the episodes about how important to get a coach or a mentor. And, sometimes we might not get all this help from your family. You might be doing some stuff that, you can't get that. And so it's amazing how, being that you say you were always very sick when you were little, and now you became a doctor. And it's so, it's a lot of things that sometimes what shape us to be a woman we are today is from those experiences. To be traumatic, that make you now like, okay, I went through this, I don't want somebody else to go through this, and you become that advocate, so to speak, for that, because you know what you go through, you can relate to it, you know, because sometimes you might feel like, oh, because I went through that, somebody went through such a thing, that means they might not want to, you know, be involved in that area. But sometimes that makes us stronger, and things happen in that level, being as a woman of faith, and you too. But sometimes things happen because this is a way God wants to use us to be able to, you know, fulfill his purpose, because everybody has his own purpose.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. That is true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah, but that is amazing that you're doing what you're doing now, you know, being, because this is something I want people to know, that, you know, people see you now that, oh yeah, she's all this, she's a doctor, you know, don't know what you have gone through and what has led you to be where you are right now. And this is why I want people to, you know, I'm letting women to come in to share their stories and give hope to those people that are struggling, that's still trying to get where they need to be, to know that there is hope. You know, you don't want to let the things that have happened in your past to not make you to do stuff. You know, those things can be used for you know, changing your lemons to sweet lemonade.
I know. I love it. That is so true. That is so true. And I love the fact that, you know, what you said in terms of them, in terms of, even if you don't have like support from family, or you don't have like the resources in that sense, but there's always a community. Like, we've all been created to live in communities, and really finding your own tribe, your own group of people that will, you know, mentor you, even if it comes at a cost, you know, people that will speak into your life, people that will encourage you when you want to give up. Like, there are people out there that do have your best interest in heart, and being resourceful, I think, is really important for that.
Yes, that's right. Because I just feel sometimes, you know, we don't want to put that burden on our family.
No.
Sometimes, you know, just having somebody else that is objective, because sometimes some things you want to do, you want to work with your own family, they love you, but they could be a little bit subjective. Yeah, so
that is so true. I think they could be biased, because all they're thinking is they want to protect you, you know. And sometimes I use the idea also of our inner critic as women, as high performing, successful women. You still have that feeling of, am I good enough? Is this good enough? So it's just the voice of your inner critic that just wants to like protect you in that sense. Like, listen, don't go too far, don't stretch too much, just stay within your boundaries. And sometimes even our families unknowingly want to protect us. They don't want us to get hurt. They don't want us to fall flat on our faces. They don't want us to fail. And so sometimes they're like, you know what, just be thankful, do this little thing, and don't go too far, you know. So yes, at times you may not get that that sense of, okay, support and cheering you on directly from your family. And that's where now, I think, especially with the pandemic, there's been so many opportunities to get coaching and mentoring from other people who are going through the same life situations that you're going through, who are restless, and they know that there's more, and they're pursuing that. So I think that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty. That's one positive thing I'll say. Just with this COVID and everything else, people are really pivoting with that in mind. Like, okay, even if my family says, you know what, let's not go too crazy, you do have people that are like, okay, you know what, I'm on the outside, I know you can do this, and I'm here to stand with you and cheer you on. That's true.
Yeah. I mean, so many opportunities that have come up from this pandemic. You know, it's not all bad.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Absolutely.
People that, you know, they have not thought of, maybe they've been thinking about all this stuff for a while, and now, you know, they're like, okay, you know, I guess I should do this now.
I know.
This is the time. Yes.
That's true.
So many resources out there virtually.
Absolutely. And I was going to say, like, even think about it, like, as for me, you know, before I founded Resftul Sleep MD, which is my company, it was like I didn't have time, right? I have the kids, I have my job, I have all this. But now with the pandemic, I'm not traveling into the city to work as
Yes.
much. So all of a sudden I bought back 2 hours a day, which I would have either spent on the road, so then it's something I can then put into my business and then really
Yes.
start to build, invest in myself, in my personal development, in, connecting with other people. You can sort of become so resourceful once you look and see what you have in your hand.
That's right.
And
You're like, oh, okay,
I
it's
know.
nothing else now. So
Yeah. Or you could choose to use, I mean, there's always
Mhm.
Netflix, right?
Yes, yeah, right. But it's like,
There's always,
okay, the
okay, yeah.
Netflix finished and you are still back in square one on your
Yes.
chair, on your couch.
Yeah. On your couch. Yeah. So you can use
Mm-hmm.
that towards
Yeah,
yourself. You can turn it back in to build
yeah.
yourself, make yourself a better person, and then be able to serve others.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because I mean, we really need to build ourselves as women. Women are very
Yeah.
powerful.
Mhm.
I know when I was starting this podcast, my husband was like, "Okay, so it's just focusing on women." I'm like, "Yeah, I focusing on women."
Yeah.
Women
Yeah.
are very, very powerful. Women
Yep.
give a lot. And so,
Mm.
if knowing that we have that tendency of giving out a lot, we want to make sure we're giving out good stuff.
Mm.
So that
Yep.
is why we need to empower women as much as possible. You have happy
Absolutely.
woman, happy world.
Yes, that is so true. That is true.
Yeah, that's great. So, what would you say you are most proud as a woman today?
Well, I would say for me, I'm proud of the legacy I'm leaving my children. I'm proud of my journey so far. When I was even in my training, so I did my pulmonary fellowship and I started working as a pediatric pulmonologist, but to be a sleep physician, I had to go back into fellowship. So I
Mm.
could have had that limited mindset, like, okay, I'm okay. I can't imagine going back into training. I'm being told what to do, whatever. But I was still able to do that. And my kids saw me and they saw me struggle through, some changes, with when you're in training, like everything is just
Oh,
so
yeah.
much more, regimented and kind of different for the family, and really seeing them really them seeing me do that and walk through that and be successful at it, I think has inspired them. And also I'm proud of what I've been able to achieve so far, even though I'm still kind of at the early stages of building my company, the Resftul Sleep MD, where I'm empowering women, busy women and their children to prioritize sleep, because I know that once the children are sleeping better, then their parents hopefully are sleeping better. And also because I'm helping people see that a lot of even the physical ailments that we experience, a lot of the mood problems, anxiety,
Mhm.
depression, learning problems that we have, um, lack of sleep is definitely contributing to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
So being in that position where I can be an advocate for people to start to see sleep and its importance differently is something that I'm very proud of.
Mm.
Again, that's the journey I'm starting. And before I started, again, I'm like, okay, what are you doing? People are going to do whatever they're going to do. But now lending my voice to say, listen, I'm here to
Yes.
provide that. I'm here to support. I'm here to help you with developing strategies to start to prioritize sleep for your entire well-being. Being able to do that is something I've been proud of.
Mm,
Mm.
that is so good. Yes. I mean, and this is one of the things too, I talk with my clients, sleep is important.
Mm.
It's just like how what we put in our bodies. I mean, I prioritize a lot too on nutrition, but again, they
Mm.
all go hand in hand. Nutrition,
Yeah,
sleep, when are you eating the food before you sleep?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
The kinds of food you're
it
eating
is.
affects your
Yeah,
mood, affects your
yeah,
sleep. I mean,
yeah.
so I think after food, I don't know which one comes first, but both of
I
them,
know.
because I mean, sometimes people be like, oh, they can't sleep, because I got so many things to do. And
Mm.
personally, I went through that problem. I did not even realize it was part of my healing. Um, you
Mm.
know, I know before we started recording, I was sharing with you that I went through, found out I had Hashimoto's in trying
Mm.
to heal my GI problems, found out I had Hashimoto's, but it was one of the key things I had to do to adjust my
Mm.
sleep to heal. I mean, I healed myself from the Hashimoto's without any prescription medications, but I found, I had to change my diet, change my sleeping patterns, because one of the things in terms of sleep, since we're talking about sleep now, what I was doing was, there was a place I was working. I had to be there 7 a.m. every morning.
Wow.
And, I wanted to be doing my exercise in the morning before going to work. So I would wake up early to do my exercise, and I wasn't sleeping in time. But I wanted to be doing my exercise in the morning because I felt like it's quiet, no kids are nobody bother me. And so when I was working with my functional medicine provider, she brought that up, and she's like, you are going through a lot of stuff. I know you want to exercise, but your body is taking it as a stress because you're not sleeping well. And so you have to stop your exercise for a moment, even though it's supposed to be a good thing, or try and do it in the evening, So I had to find a way to do that, and because it's very important.
Yeah. And I thank you for bringing that up, because actually, if you, when you, especially as women as well, maybe you have kids, you have all these other obligations all the way up till late in the night, right? So you're not getting into bed until later, and then you have to wake up early to start all over again. And so we're sort of burning the candle on both ends. And, if you think about all the wonderful things that sleep does, one of the things is restoration. So, for children as well as adults, we actually heal when we sleep. Our bodies, especially when we get into that deep sleep, N3 or third stage sleep, it really helps with muscle recovery. It helps with restoration, and it helps with immune function. So boosting your immune system, because your natural killer cells really start to get regenerated when you have that sleep. So being able to fight off disease and being able to fight infections and even some cancers we're discovering right now is really related to sleep. And so getting sufficient sleep and making sure that we prioritize. And I love how your functional medicine specialist really brought that, and it's great to hear that again, just to confirm that. Sleep is so important.
Yeah, it was very essential to my healing. It was unbelievable. Like, oh, okay. I was doing some healthy stuff here.
That's great.
Wow. So what would you say, you've talked a lot of things that are very encouraging, but I want us to tie this in a bow. Just summarize, what are some encouraging words you want to give our listeners today before we end today?
So there's something I say, I think just from my perspective as a sleep physician, is that when sleep is abundant, we radiate our inner brilliance, especially as women. I think that really, for me, if you think about it, studies have shown that we age faster when we don't sleep. So you wake up in the morning if you don't have a good night of sleep, you wake up exhausted. How will you shine? Studies have shown that when you sleep, your memory and your mood is better. So if you don't sleep and you wake up cranky and sad and depressed, how will you shine? Studies have shown that when you sleep, you're better able to lose weight, you're better able to make healthy food choices, you're better able to exercise appropriately. So if you don't sleep well, all those things are the reverse. How will you shine? So really sleeping and getting enough of it can help you to be that person of greatness that you've been called to be, to radiate that brilliance that people are waiting for your world. People in your world are waiting for you to shine. So that's one thing I would say. It's doable. You can start prioritizing sleep tonight.
Yes. Right now, free 99.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that is so powerful. Yes. If you don't sleep, how? It's just you are crying. How do you start it? Those are so powerful. I hope you guys will rewind that part and listen, write it down, put it on your wall if you are struggling with sleep. So you remember this, put it in your phone, I don't know, your screensaver. That is so good. I love it. If you want to shine, gotta get your sleep, girl.
Yep.
Yes, it affects quality sleep, Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is true.
So, Dr. Brown, how can people connect with you? Is it, I want you to share your social handles. Is it on social media, your Instagram, Facebook, website, all
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
sure.
Mm,
Absolutely. So I'm in all
mm,
the places. So I am most active on Instagram as the Restful Sleep MD, Restful Sleep MD, and then also on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Restful Sleep MD. I do have a YouTube channel as well. It's Dr. Funke Brown. And then also I have a website, which is www.restfulsleepmd.com. So those are the main places that you'll find me hanging out.
Okay, awesome. And do you have any projects you're working on? Do you have any freebies or anything that people
Yeah,
can grab or something like
yeah,
that?
absolutely. So
Mm-hmm.
actually, if you do, like I said, you can start tonight to create healthy sleep habits to prioritize sleep. So I do have a freebie on my website on practical steps that you can take to start to sleep better,
Okay.
to start to get restful sleep. And so if you just go on there
Mm-hmm.
and just you can download the copy, just subscribe to our newsletter, you'll be able to get that and really
Okay.
get started on
Okay.
healthy sleep as soon as possible. And
Okay.
I'm also available for, speaking engagements and things.
Mm,
So if you have like a webinar or a conference and you would love to have someone just speak, especially in the wellness
mm-hmm.
space where we're really talking about how to optimize health, I'm
Mm.
always available to talk about, sleep and how to incorporate that into your wellness journey.
Yes, that is awesome. Great. Okay. Yeah, I need to download that from dude. There's some people I want to let them know about the sleep thing.
Absolutely,
Yeah, this is good.
absolutely.
So you guys hear this, you need to check that out and make use of it. These are all free resources here that you can start tonight.
Yep.
You go
Mhm.
into it. Yes, that is awesome. So all these things I will be sharing all these links. If you're watching it on YouTube, you see it on the description area. And then if you are watching this podcast, or I mean listening to it on audio in any of the podcast platforms, it will be under the show notes. So you guys will check that out. So yes, thank you so much, Dr. Funke, for coming today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been fun hanging out with you, Gabby.
Yes. All right, people. So today I'm going to end the show now, and I will end it with my favorite quote from Maya Angelou that says, "When you know better, you do better." All right, people. See ya. Bye.